Hey everyone, Shining Armor here from Equestrian Empire. This is going to be the start of my newest video series, and also my first video, beginning with Elder Scrolls Online. This is a game made by Bethesda and ZeniMax Online, and takes place 1,000 years before Oblivion, from what I know. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to be running through the character creation process, the tutorial, and also the first island you go through, and after that we'll take a test drive on my already created character where I'm already level 16. I know it's not a very high level, but hey, it's fun, and it'll get to show you some more aspects of the game where you can only get to at higher levels. So let's go to create a character. So to start it off, it's best to go with no gear, so you can actually see their body when creating the character. We're going to name this Shining Armor, because I'm Shining Armor from Equestrian Empire. And I'm going to choose Nightblade the Assassin because, well, I like Nightblades. I've always used Nightblades in the past beta tests. To explain the other classes more in depth, I haven't actually played them, but I've seen others using them. The Dragon Knight, let's put on the novice gear, just to show a little of it. The Dragon Knight is basically a tank. They use, well, they can use any armor. You can use any armor and any weapons you choose. But the Dragon Knight is more of a tank because of his defensive powers. And also he has very offensive powers to obliterate all of his foes with close quarters combat. Most people, when using Dragon Knight, they use two-handed weapons or a sword and a shield, because of the defensive and offensive close quarters capabilities. The Sorcerer, that's self-explanatory. They use magic. They're able to summon creatures and cast devastating spells. The Nightblade is an assassin. They're able to disappear in smoke and, well, basically just assassinate you. They can teleport to the enemies, and they can also, what they would call it, you know, when you tie it. They did the same thing in League of Legends. Snaring. Yeah, you could snare enemies with certain abilities. But you can do that with Dragon Knight as well, and they also get a chain hook. Lucky. And now, the Templars. These are pretty much a paladin if you like healing and offensive. So if you like beating the crap out of things and healing people, this is your best class to go with. The Templar uses light abilities to kill and heal, and help his teammates support. They can use Spears of Light to stab things, call upon light for holy death, and heal people with prayers, and stuff like that. Cool, right? Well, I don't think so. That's why I go Nightblade. So back to no gear. Now the body, I've got, let's unlock these. I was in a previous creating a character, but I screwed up, so I'm just redoing this now. Let's randomize it a bit. Okay, we've got that guy. Now, I'm not gonna go with him. I'm obviously gonna show you how to work this thing. Now, body type shows if you want to be super buff, super fat, really thin like a Slenderman, which is, oh well, yes, I guess it is a Slenderman, or just anything. Choose what you want to be. So I'm going to choose with a bit of a muscular and thin guy. I'm not going to go with really fat, and we're going to make him short. He's going to be short stuff. His skin color will make it a dark blue, and the body marking, there are 3 different kinds of body markings for Argonians. Well, 4 technically. You've got this, a bunch of splotches and dots. Okay. Hi. You've got this, which I actually prefer. It's sort of a dragon-esque look in my opinion. Or a snake if you prefer. And there's that. Scales all around. That's sort of a rough look, possibly an alligator. And then the final one, that's more splotches and has a more defined look of an alligator, and sort of a mixture of 2 of them, being the this one and oh well, I guess it's the same one. Huh. Oh, well, you've got this as well. I don't know what kind of reptile that would look like, but if you know and you're into reptilology, oh, herpetology, you should give me a shout. So I'm just gonna go with this. It's very colorful, green and dark and nice. The torso size. That is most seen in the upper body with the pecs and the shoulders. So if you see when I move this, that moves that and a little bit of the abs. So let's just make him a bit wide-chested. Now for chest size, you're going to have to go sideways because it affects his pecs and how outward they are. For girls, that affects how big your, cleavage is. So we're going to give him some nice pecs. Go down for his gut. Lower his gut. And now, waist size. Make that a bit thicker. Arm size is just your thickness of your arms, how muscular you want to be. We're going to make him not too buff. He's not going to be buff. And we'll decrease his hand size because he needs small hands. He's a small guy. Lower body. Hip size. That goes right there, right under the abs and under the waist. Right, there's the waist, there's the hips. So, now for Argonians, posterior dimensions is not just the size of your butt, but it is also the thickness of your tail. Now, I like really thick tails because dragons normally have thick tails, and I like dragons. So, we're going to go with a very, very thick tail. And leg size. That's the thickness of your legs. We're not going to go Chuck Norris here, so I'm going to make it a bit thinner. Foot size. Size of your feet. And since he's a guy, he's probably going to have really big feet. Not always the best thing. Believe me. Face type. Now, Argonians. Theirs is a bit different. You can see the differences. Now, for Argonians, angular, the more angular they go, the thinner your eyes get, to more of slits. Like a snake. Voices, you can change your voices, and that's what happens when you die, when you attack, when you jump, when you do pretty much anything. Anything happens to you, you'll probably hear your voice. Now, this one, voice H. There's 4 different examples. I do not like that one. Hello, Modesty. Nope. Nope. No, let's go with voice A. Hairstyle. For Argonians, that will affect your horns and the feathers on your head. Which I do not know why they do feathers. I'm going to go ahead and change it to a bone-like look. And I'm going to go with my favorite style, right here. Hair color is obvious, but for Argonians it just changes the color of your horns. And does not change the color of your feathers, because the feathers are always black. Now, for age, Argonians, it just makes their colors lighter, and it doesn't really look that good for me. Because I like dark colors. Most of the time people would like to keep their age really low, so I like to keep you at 0 years old. Yeah! Now for adornment, that's just a little eccentric thing for you. For Argonians, it's horns on their face and sometimes other things such as jewelry. As you can see with that sapphire. I like this one. It's got a nice double horn right there. Now for the face, most of these you'll have to do from the side because that's all you can see it from. So the forehead slope on here is between the second horn on the forehead and the first horn on the nose. As you can see right there. Cheekbone size, that'll have to be done from the front. Argonians, it is these protrusions under the eyes and the back horns. And the height of the cheekbones, just keep it relatively low. And the jaw size, that's pretty much around your throat. And chin size, everyone knows what your chin is. If you don't, you must be young. And that means you shouldn't be playing this game. This is rated M for mature. Now the height, that's, well, yeah. Neck size, that is directly your throat. And apparently part of your back, which that's not really part of your neck, but okay. Ah, there we go. No. Make it a bit thick. It looks cool. Eye color, that's, well, you know what your eyes are. I'll just see with. We'll make his a... not black. We'll make them blue. They're so pretty. It does not actually, from what I know, it does not change the color of the pupil. It just changes the color of the entire iris, if that's what it's called. But that's just what I know from Argonians, because I don't choose any other race. But if it's any other race such as humanoid, it'll probably just change the color like normal, like a normal human. Same with probably the Khajiit. The eye size, that will just change how big the diameter, well, the circumference, if you want to go that technical. Let's make it a bit big. And a higher eye angle. Eye separation. That looks nice. Let's just keep it in the middle. Eye height. I like to keep that in the middle. And eye squint, I like to increase that a bit. Make it look like an angry Argonian. Yeah! I am Dragonborn! Well, we aren't really Dragonborn.